All right, this video is going to be about my 2019 21.5-inch iMac. I just figured I would do a little bit of an overview video about this machine and sort of why I got it, what I think of it, and if you yourself should get one. So let's go to About This Mac. I'll show you the specs of the machine. So this is a 2019 21.5-inch iMac. It has the 3 GHz 6-core i5-8500, a Radeon Pro 560X, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I have macOS Sonoma 14.4.1, which is, at the time of recording this video, the latest version available. Now, this machine I got on eBay, and I got it for about $400. So I got it at a pretty good deal, and these machines are actually still very, very fantastic. The 6-core i5 really does help in most of these situations, especially video editing and Logic, running Logic and doing music production, and doing things like that. Now, if we go into Activity Monitor, and we can even also do this by going into System Information, but I'm just going to do this like this for now. If we go to the CPU graph, we can see we only have 6 threads. So this is not a hyper-threaded CPU, but for most tasks, it does fine. I think where it would sort of start to fall short is if you're doing very, very heavy CPU intensive tasks like app development, rendering on the CPU. That's sort of where it might get a little bit slow, but for what I'm using it for, it is not really that of a terrible CPU. Now, as far as why I got this machine, I got it because, number one, it was a really good deal, and I wanted to have an iMac like this. I'd never owned one before. And secondly, I just thought it would be nice to have a machine to keep here at the university that I'm attending. And so I decided to get this also because I can just keep it up in my dorm room, and I can also store it here. Because they do allow you to store stuff in limited quantities, but you can store stuff here over the summer, and so I'm going to keep this here in a box. So that's the other reason why I got it. It's really nice to have a desktop machine that's a newer Mac desktop, because previously I had a 2010 Mac Pro, which was very old, and although I had a pretty decent graphics card and plenty of RAM, it was a little slow on the CPU side, and the architecture was really falling short, especially in Logic Pro, and it just really didn't run well, and so I decided to stop using that machine, and then I was using my M1 MacBook Air for a while, and then until I got this. So I actually got this machine in about January of this year, so sort of right at the beginning of 2024. It's been a really great machine. I don't anticipate ever getting rid of it anytime soon. I'm sure it'll last me at least a couple more years. That's what I'm hoping. I really don't want to have to get rid of this really, really quickly. I want to be able to keep it as long as I can. Now, the only sort of shortcoming with this machine is the fact that it is a 2019 Intel-based Mac, and Sonoma is likely going to be the last version that is natively supported. Now, given that OpenCore Legacy Patcher works pretty well on modern Intel Macs, maybe in macOS 15, assuming it still supports Intel chips, that we will get OpenCore Legacy Patcher support on this computer. Now, even if we don't, it won't be that big of a deal because Sonoma will be still receiving security updates until 2025, and so that will be, a decent amount of time to keep this. If Sonoma stops receiving security updates, it's really not going to be the end of the world because you can still use an operating system even though it stops receiving support for a time, not for 10 years you can't. But, even for a year, it's still possible to use without any major issues. The only issue would be if there's a major security flaw that would prevent you from being able to use it safely. But I don't anticipate that happening very quickly. Obviously, it would be nice if this machine kept getting support, but I don't think it will. So that is a quick overview of this computer. Now, what exactly am I using this for? Nothing very major. Running logic on it. I am running DaVinci Resolve on it. The nice thing is it does have 32 gigabytes of RAM, so I can use that, effectively and be able to run many, many applications at once, which is nice because I can have, for example, DaVinci Resolve and Apple Motion open at the same time if I'm working on a video project, which I am working on an hour-and-a-half long documentary for a client. And so that is utilizing all three of these programs, and I can have them running simultaneously, and it works well because I have a lot of RAM. The graphics card is perfectly fine. The Radeon Pro 560 is very, very good, actually. Not as good as, say, my W5500 that I had in the Mac Pro. That was much, much faster than this. But I would say this gets about 75% of the performance of the M1, at least in video editing. So that is a quick overview of this machine. I might do some more videos on this before the semester ends. But that's where things stand. And be sure to watch for more videos coming up in the summer because I have plans to do some more things when I get back home. So in any case, that'll be it for this video. Pretty quick, but I hope this gives you some idea about how this machine runs and why I got it and what I think of it. So thanks for watching.